Hey guys, what is up? I am having a fantastic night. I've been debating this dude. I'm not going to name him off. I've been debating this dude for about a week, maybe a little longer, about flat Earth. He challenged me. I was like, alright, man, I'll go up to the challenge, whatever. The reason why I'm in such a damn good mood is because this guy literally blocked me on his YouTube thing. He sent me a comment and then blocked me right away. Because every turn, like, he asked me. He said, show me some evidence, show me some proof. Alright. Not gonna lie, I looked on the internet. Looked on the internet to find a picture, because that's what he wanted. Fine, whatever. I found something better. I found a video that was taken probably... Actually, it was still going. It was like 14 hours long, and it was... I think there was still like an hour left on it. It was a video. A link to a video that is from the space station that is orbiting Earth, that is showing that the Earth is indeed rotating and also is indeed circular. He still said he wanted pictures, and I was like, why? I was like, dude, I did you one better. I sent you a video, man. He's going on these rants, dodging the question. The main thing I said, show me evidence of what you believe. You have an extraordinary claim that the Earth is flat, even though for 2,000 plus years we've all known the Earth is circular. Many scientists have proved it. Many people have proven it with basic experiments you can do in third fucking grade, man. Every time I ask this dude to send me even some basic evidence of this, he would go on a rant about about conspiracy theories, about the government being satanic, all this bullshit about satanic crap. And I'm like, dude, you're dodging the question. Stop dodging. Just give me give me something that you could do in school, perhaps. You know, a basic experiment that could prove that the Earth is flat. And every time, he would dodge the question. Even calling me a sheep. I'm like, dude, you're the religious nutbag. I'm the atheist. I'm not a blind sheep. You are. You're part of the flock and not me. The whole time we've been doing this debate for, like I said, about a week, maybe more, he had not once came out with any evidence, any experimental evidence that you can prove with science or mathematics. Anything at all. I even baited him, saying stupid crap, just to see what he would say. Just to see if the dude would realize that I'm baiting him on to give me some kind of evidence, and he couldn't. He just, every time I get close to him actually answering the question that I thought I was anyway, he go on a tangent about satanic rituals that the government's doing, that it's all a conspiracy, that we're all being brainwashed. I'm like, dude, evidence. And I even told him, dude, if you want to talk about religion, I can debate about religion forever. I know so much about religion. I've read the Bible, I've read the Quran, which was fucking hard as hell. You know, I even read the Torah, which was very hard. You know how hard it is to translate Hebrew to English? It's not that easy. I applaud people that can do it. I don't agree with it. I don't believe in it. But I applaud people that actually take the time that can do this. There are people out there there are kids out there that are 11 years old that can literally cite the whole Torah. Just like there are people in Afghanistan and Iraq that can cite the whole Quran. I applaud these guys. Because, I mean, you have a dedication to this blind belief structure that I never will have. Anyway, back to this flat earther dude. Like I said, I sent him the video. He made the excuse, oh, it's just a fisheye camera. No, it's not. Even if it is a fisheye camera, it is clearly showing the Earth rotating. No matter, and I even told him, I was like, dude, no matter what evidence I show you, you're gonna sit there and make some excuse on why it's fake. Like, dude, it's tangible evidence. You know, you could even rewind the video all the way to the beginning and watch all 14 hours of it. I watched 3 hours of it myself to make sure it was like, you know, something I could actually put up there. He didn't do it. Every time. Every single time I asked him. Just like I do with religious people. Just like I do with politicians, especially Democrats. Just like I do with anybody that I'm debating. Show me evidence. That's all I ask. Even if it's just basic knowledge evidence. Show me some kind of evidence. Something that we can actually do an experiment on. Something that we can actually have a hypothesis on. But they didn't. None of them have. There's one guy who said about the transgender thing I did yesterday. Said that YouTube will not endorse you because of your views on transgenderism. I don't see why not. I wasn't dissing him. I was stating facts. I even put it in the comments. If you want to see the comments, they're under the video. And I'll just say it to you. I've done a lot of psychology, studies. I haven't done them myself, but I've researched psychology studies extensively. Along with religion and flat earther. Like, I've researched the flat earther thing. I went in with a clear head. Like, okay, maybe this guy has some merit. Why the hell not? For the last week, I've been trying everything I can to prove myself wrong about the Earth being a globe. And there's no evidence to prove that it's not. This guy got so pissed off at me that he commented, yelling, well, I guess he was yelling. He was typing with all caps, so I'm assuming he was yelling. I guess I pissed him off. Anyway, I pissed this dude off. And he blocked me from his YouTube. So I could not even look at the last message. I looked at like a little bit of what I could read with my phone, because I use my phone to do this. I don't use a computer. I actually have a life. I don't have time to be on a computer all the time. This moron blocked me from YouTube. Blocked me from his channel on YouTube. I don't care. And I'm not going to name him because there's no point in naming the guy who challenged me and then got his ass kicked in the challenge. It's like I've said in every video. Facts don't care about your feelings. And if you have no evidence to support the claim of which you are claiming, then what's the point of arguing about it? With religious people, again with religion, yes, I love it because it irritates people for one and two. It's so much fun. With religious people, they have no tangible evidence. They quote miracles, stories, what is that? I felt a divine light. When I was 12 years old, I felt the same thing. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I was a dumb, blind believer as a child. When I got older and I learned how to use my brain, I started reading the Bible thoroughly. Instead of just the chapters that the preacher or Chapman or whoever the hell you pray to or have some yell at you, I researched the hell out of this stuff. For lack of better words, I research it religiously. It's kind of an ironic twist of words, but that's what I did. And every time I do, there's no evidence of any historical accuracy in this book. There's no scientific accuracy in this book. There's no geological accuracy in this book. I'll take one story out of the Bible, and I'll prove to you. The biggest one that everybody quotes, besides of course John 3:16, the one that everybody says is so good, is the story of Noah's Ark. Okay? Story of Noah's Ark. I'll give you some questions that you should be able to answer if this stuff is correct. Number 1. What kind of animals did he put on his ark? Number 2. Why don't we see blood or bone trails from where this ark supposedly landed to a certain area of where these animals only are at? Because if this theory is true, there would be Bengal tigers all over the world. There would be elephants all over the world. You don't see elephants in America. You don't see Bengal tigers in America. I mean, you see mountain lions. It's about as close as you're going to get. We don't have polar bears here. You know, that's the first one. Number two, if Noah and his family were the only ones who survived this giant flood, that, again, no evidence of, why aren't we all inbred? Why don't we all look the same? There would be no blacks, Mexicans, Chinese, just Asian in general. We'd all look exactly the same. We'd all be one skin color, one racial ethnicity, one racial heritage, I guess you could call it. And I guarantee you won't be able to answer that. Unless Noah's mom was a hoe, or Noah's wife was a hoe, and every one of her kids were from different people. But even then, they would have had to mate with each other to populate the earth. If that be the case, we would still have to have, like, most of us would be fucking minus a chromosome from an ape. But no, we're not. I mean, come on, some of the most intelligent people out there, like, Richard Dawkins, just, you name them, they're out there. There's even Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I've quoted before. Very, very intellectual being. Like I said, Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Dan Dennett, you name it. Most of the most intellectual people on the planet, most of them are either atheists or agnostic. And I guarantee there's going to be some scientists out there, I believe in both. Well, then you're a ding-dong. Because every bit of your science basically disproves everything in that book. For example, if there was a Jesus Christ, I'll give you it. Say there was a guy named Jesus. 2,000 years ago. God gave these tablets to Moses, which was supposedly before Jesus. Okay, I'll go with that. So he gave tablets to illiterate people who climbed to the top of Mount Sinai to get these tablets, who enticed them to slaughter a whole village, but keep the virgin girls, so keep your virgin girls for yourselves. So in other words, these are your concubines. Anybody who knows what a concubine is, it's basically a sex slave. They're there to do the bidding of what the guy says. Again, no evidence whatsoever of anything in this book. Reason being, this book, contrary to most belief, this book was completely voted on. And stuff had been added to it like 100 years later, easily. One of the guys that I've been debating the flat earth with tried to say that the globe thing started with the Catholics. No, it didn't. It started with the Romans 2,000 plus years ago. So before the birth of Christ even, the Romans were already saying the earth was a circular globe. They were even saying that the earth itself revolves around the sun. Not that the sun revolves around us. They were some of the first people that not only believed this, but proved it. Some of them go back hundreds of years before Christ, believing this and proving it. Yet this guy, which like I said, I don't name names, said that it was made by Catholic priests. It's like he said the story of evolution was made by Catholic priests. No, it wasn't. The story of evolution, if you've actually researched it, was actually made by scientists. These scientists were butchered at stakes because they were going against the word of the Catholic Church. Then later on, they found out that these guys were actually telling the truth, so they took the idea for themselves. which is what most religious nutbags do. And I'm not calling every religious person a nutbag. I'm calling people who blindly trust everything that their preacher tells them is a nutbag. And like I said to the guy, the one that deleted me from YouTube, which is still just makes me giddy inside because it's funny as hell. Like, dude, seriously, we're having a basic debate and you get all butthurt about it. I mean, here you go, Snowflake, here's a cookie. Anyway. What I was telling this guy is, fine, I'll give it to you. So what that everything's satanic? If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. There's no evidence to either or. I will admit, I don't agree with everything. I don't go with everything the government tries to peddle. That's why you research. If I can't sleep, I'm spending the majority of my time researching. And he was like, oh, well, it's all indoctrination, blah, 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 blah. I was proving my science teachers wrong in school. I was proving my mathematical teachers wrong in school. Granted, it was a lot harder, especially when you get up in the higher school range. And I'm not trying to say this stuff to be cocky. I'm saying when someone tells you something, someone gives you an extraordinary thing that they're trying to teach you, research it so you understand it. This guy obviously never did research a day in his life. He apparently never paid attention in physics, never paid attention in math, anything. He's what I call a blind believer. Or a sheep, like he would call people, like, it's a new word out there, they call people sheeple. People that blindly trust the government, which I do agree. If you blindly trust the government and everything, for one, you must be Democrat, and two, you're a ding-dong. I mean, come on. Just in the last 100 years, the government has lied to us more than once. MK Ultra, that was a big lie. Not that it happened, but they were denying that it was going on. Watergate, the JFK assassination, Marilyn Monroe's death, the woman that John F. Kennedy's brother or son or whatever the hell went into, crash into the lake with. It was all covered up. 9/11 attacks. It's a cover up. I mean, come on. With all this being said, conspiracy theories do fascinate me, and some of them do sometimes sound pretty educated. But again, don't just go by what you hear and what you see. Research the hell out of everything. It's the only way you're going to be able to exercise your brain. If you go through the same motions over and over and over again, you're going to be standing still while the earth is advancing. I made a video about 3 years ago that actually got blacklisted from YouTube, going in detail about why I believe that religion is the reason why the earth isn't as advanced as it should be. And this is one of the reasons. There's this scientific thing that they have over in Europe called CERN. We had one of those. We were building one. But the religious ding-dongs in Texas got all butthurt because what we were doing is we were trying to find evidence of God. It's a valid thing. We should look for evidence of God. If so many people believe in it, we should find evidence. It doesn't matter if 1 billion people believe in it. If there's no evidence, what's the point of believing in it? It's that blind indoctrination I've been telling you about. And we would have one. The building that it was going to be in, or that it was going to be, is still half built, just decaying away in Texas. And the reason why I brought up religion is because almost every flat earther I've talked to, at least every one of them that I've actually gone into extensive conversations with, all of them quote some kind of godly thing. It's like, if there is a God, why doesn't it come down and tell me that it's real. And even if it does, it's got to have some extraordinary evidence. I don't care if an omnipotent being falls from the sky, does a bunch of miracles, quote unquote. I'm still not going to trust this character. And the first thing I'm going to ask is, if there is a God, and you're supposed to be all peaceful, all knowing, and all that thing, why are you letting these people in the Middle East kill each other over you? That's all this, like, not with us. I mean, yeah, granted, there are some Christian zealots over there probably. But between the Arab community alone, they've been at war ever since Muhammad made his thing 1,000 years ago. Coincidentally enough, the same time that the Catholics came around, 1,000 years ago. Anyway, these flat earthers, every one of them I've talked to so far, and it's, like I said, it's been going about a week. None of them have given me so much as a lick of evidence of any of their belief. Whether it's religious belief or flat earth belief, none of them have given me a shred of evidence. And they keep quoting a bunch of fancy schmancy words, which I know what the words mean. You know, obviously, like I said, I research shit. I know what these words mean, and they don't go with what the subject at hand has to say. You know, you could throw out a bunch of educated words in any subject to make yourself sound intelligent, but in the end of the day, if you don't have evidence of what you're claiming, you're not an intellectual being, dude. And it's like what I was saying. It's like what I was saying, like going back to the religion thing. I've seen some of the most intelligent people I've ever met do some stupid, just moronic, immoral crap due to their beliefs. Like in the 90s, homophobia was really, really bad. Really bad. The only reason why people hate homosexuality is because of religion. On a side note, let me ask you a question. And go ahead and make comments, because a lot of people do. Say you didn't hear anything about religion. You were never indoctrinated into it. Your parents didn't force you to go to church when you were a child, bring you up into this belief structure. You didn't hear anything about it until you were about sophomore or junior in high school. And they just brought it up to you. Would you believe in it? Or would you call it mythology like you do with Zeus, Ra, and all that? And I mean, seriously think about this answer. Because a lot of people will instantly say, well, of course I'll believe it. Why? What do you need to prove stuff? You need evidence. You need anything that can prove any of this belief. It's like, if I'm going to worship something, for one, there better be evidence of it. Not just some hearsay story that people heard in a campfire hundreds of years after the death of this young Jew. Yes, that's exactly how it happened. None of these supposed apostles were anywhere near him when he died. Like the main four, Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. None of these guys were anywhere near the time of Jesus Christ. None of them. Everything they wrote down was stuff they heard from other people. All of it. And then, to make it any better, 365 or so years later, Emperor Constantine, who was a pagan, by the way, had this council called the Council of Nicaea, where they voted on everything in this book. And don't believe me, look it up. Look up the Council of Nicaea, the Nicene Creed. There were, they call them representatives, but they all were just religious nutbags. Anything that made Jesus look like a normal man, anything that contradicted what they were trying to peddle was taken out. And then they added shit to it to make it more extravagant. And that's scientific fact. not only is scientific, that's historical fact. See, Emperor Constantine was literally a pagan almost until the day he died. He didn't become Christian till about, I think it was like 2 or 3 days before he died. Till then, he was a pagan all the way through. One of the things that a movie out there, it's got a lot of shit. A lot of people hated on it, along with the book, was Da Vinci's Code. And again, I didn't just go by what I watched. I researched it, and everything they were saying, except for, some of the things. But the main story of the whole Nicene Creed, him being a full-on pagan, all of that was true. 100% true. And people call me indoctrinated. If I was indoctrinated, I'd be a blind sheep going to church every Sunday, listening to some old man yell at me about being a sinner. That's literally the definition of being a blind believer, aka being indoctrinated. Indoctrination happens when you're a child. When your mind is still malleable. When you're a child, for one, you're born an innocent child. You don't know anything about God. You have no concept of flat earth versus globe. You have no concept of politics. And like I said, just you're a child. Your first 4 years are your most important. It's where you learn most of your habits, where you watch your parents and see what they do, and you copy them. It's how most people get their habits. They see it from their parents. Like this one. I don't blame my parents, I blame me for this. But my parents were smokers when I was a child, so it doesn't really help. Anyway. You're being raised into this religion. Whatever religion it is, whether it's Muslim, Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, you're raised into it. Because in order for a religion to prosper, you need to have children who blindly believe this crap so they can carry it on. That's how Christianity's lasted for almost 2,000 years. That's literally how it was created. That's why every time you go to church, the first thing they say is, hey, bring your kids along. We'll have them in children's church. And then we'll blindly tell them that God did everything. And then you have those radicalists who think the world is only 10,000 years old. You're a fucking moron. There are trees that are older than that. Oh, sorry, I'm being indoctrinated. Oh. No, it's scientific fact, genius. Hell, it's biology. Easy. Count the rings, man. You can even go so far as to see, depending on how thick the ring is, how much water was there that year, how much it rained. There's a lot of evidence to it. Granted, not all scientists were the best people. For instance, the whole natural selection thing. Yes, the guy who made it was kind of a racist prick. But the theory is not racist. He may have been a racist, but the theory is not. Yes, according to some people, Einstein still thought the earth was flat. Einstein's expertise was in mathematics. If anybody knows someone who is abnormally brilliant, especially when it comes to science or math, a lot of them aren't very good at talking to people. Because instead of being social like most of us are, they are usually stuck in a lab or have their head in a book learning the math and the science and social studies and all this crap. Anyway, back to the flat earther thing. Like I said, I can go on for hours about religion. Unless you can prove with actual evidence, not some hearsay bullshit, not some religious bullshit, because they're both the same thing. They're both bullshit and they're both bad for you. Just like politics. Unless you can have actual evidence, there is no point in believing in the thing. It's like aliens. People are like, oh, well, do you believe in aliens? I believe there could be aliens out there. I mean, it'd be moronic to believe that out of this giant galaxy that we have, that we're the only intellectual beings in it. There's got to be something smarter than us out there. Or maybe they're late bloomers. Maybe how we are today is advanced to them. Maybe they're still cavemen back then. I don't know. I don't know because I've never seen it. You know, a UFO is an unidentified flying object. That does not mean alien. That just means it's a flying object that was not identified. You know, everybody quotes the Roswell, New Mexico thing. You know, maybe it was a cover-up. Maybe an alien did smash land into here. But this is the one thing. If an alien crash landed here, I don't think I would trust these guys, because these guys flew across the universe to get here, and they crash landed here? I mean, does their planet not have gravity? Do they have a flat Earth? And yes, I just went cross-eyed and acted like a jackass to show you how dumb that idea is. Like I said, there's no evidence of it, but I'm not going to put it out there because I'm not going to sit there and deny it completely, nor am I going to say yes, completely 100% there's aliens. Because there hasn't been any evidence for it or against it. Granted, there's videos out there of lights that just zipper across the sky or whatever. It's like they have evidence of ghosts. Personally, never seen one. Never met one, never felt one, nothing. You know, I've never seen a miracle. I've never seen somebody that was in a wheelchair and paraplegic get sucker punched in the forehead by some televangelist and then walk around normally. Never saw it. I mean, yeah, you see it in movies all the time. Doesn't mean it's true. A guy, I think it was like the second or third day of the Flat Earth thing, said, well, there's some celebrities out there, and he quoted some of the celebrities' names that are Flat Earthers. I was like, well, so what? That's still not evidence. And why would you take the ideology of this person just because they're a celebrity? Dude, they're being paid to look good, to read a book, and sorry, my wife texted me. Anyway, or to read lines and to act out the scene. That's all they're getting paid to do. And there are some great actors out there. You know, I mean, yeah, they make good movies. They're entertaining. Doesn't mean I'm going to believe half the crap they peddle. There's no point in it. Again, unless there's evidence. How's this? You believe that since a celebrity believes in this crap, that you should too. Okay. Stalin was a celebrity. Hitler was a celebrity. Genghis Khan was a celebrity. And he raped billions of women, had a lot of offspring. Hitler, we all know what the fuck he did. Stalin was worse than Hitler, he just didn't televise it. You know, you can go on forever with people that were celebrities that did really atrocious things. Yet, you don't follow them. I mean, there are some out there like the neo-Nazi retards. You're fucking retarded, I'm sorry. If you hate somebody because of their racial heritage or their sexual orientation, you're just dumb. You know, grow up. Or what's worse, if you hate somebody because of what sex they happen to be. You know, there's a guy named Yiannopoulos. Milo Yiannopoulos. Granted, people get really pissed off at him. That's his job. That's what he does. He loves pissing people off. He's entertaining. He cracks me up. But the funny thing is, he's also intelligent. Again, I'm not going to believe everything he says. I'm not going to blindly follow this moron. But yeah, some of the stuff I'm just like, dude, shut up. Just like going back to politics with Trump. I agree with a lot of stuff he's done. I agree with some of the stuff he says. But there's also a lot of stuff where I'm like, dude, just take his phone away. He needs to quit shitting. Okay, shitting and tweeting. He needs to quit doing that. He's the first president we've ever had that actually has balls. And that's what a lot of people don't like. He's an alpha male. People get so mad at him because of some of the stuff he says. It's like, yeah, some of the stuff he says he probably shouldn't have said, but it's too late. It's already out there in the ether. You're going to fucking be able to read it. Hell, there's probably a website now where you can get every one of his tweets. I was on my way to work and news came on. And they said that the coronavirus in America is a pandemic. No, jackass, it's not. You're literally scaring people. Quit. About 80 or 90 people have actually been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Out of those 80 or 90 people, 2 of them died. They were elderly people that already had respiratory problems. The coronavirus doesn't kill children, doesn't kill people like you and I that are healthy. Well, healthy as I'm going to be anyway. It kills people that have respiratory problems and that are over the age of 65. Well, it kills off older people. I don't even think there's ever been a case in the world of a child dying from the coronavirus. It's just, they're peddling this shit, is what they're doing. And how a lot of the Democrats are trying to call it the Trump virus. Are you stupid? Trump didn't create the virus. It was created in China. It started in China. He's not in China. He's in the fucking White House. He is here in the United States. Come on, man. Stop all this bullshit about how bad he is. Yes. What is it? Not our economy, it's another thing. Stocks. The stock market went down. Just went down a few thousand. Everybody's all flipping out about it. It's not going to go down forever. It's already starting to rise again. But are people going to realize that? No, because if you listen to the news, anything that has remotely anything bad about it, they're going to smash Trump with it because they don't want him as president. And everybody's like, oh, he's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Really? Our economy is great. Gas prices are down. Minimum wage went up. Cost of living went down. For the trailer I'm living in now. Yes, I live in a trailer. A trailer I'm living in now. When Obama was in, would it cost me about $700-800 a month. It's only costing me $5 now. Granted, I'm not going to give that all the way to Trump. Because the guy who owns this trailer, it's his decision on how much he wants to pay. He wants us to pay. Mountain Dew. Anyway. These flat earth people, man. I've been debating them for a week, maybe a little longer. Not one of them have given one shred of evidence. They all have had said nothing except for conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory, quoting religion, all this crap. Even telling me that they feel sorry for me, that someday I might find God. No, I won't. Like, hey, you might find Jesus. Yeah, I did. He works at Subway. It's a fucked up joke, but hey, there's a guy named Jesus who works at Subway. So technically, I did find Jesus. May not be the one you're looking for, but I found one. No, what'd you expect me to say? He mows my lawn, he does my yard. My landlord mows my lawn. I don't have a maid. He works for a living like the rest of us do. He's a normal person. Granted, I feel sorry for him because his parents named him Jesus, but, I mean, You know, when you're raised in Mexico, chances are you're going to be Catholic. Just saying. But anyway, it's still a good day because I can't believe I pissed off this dude who challenged me so bad that he literally blocked me on YouTube. That made my night. So I was like, dude, how did I piss you off so bad? I mean, the most you could have done is just stop commenting. I would have stopped too. I'm not a child. I'm not going to sit there and just keep antagonizing you. No, I won, whatever. All I said was checkmate, and you got all butthurt. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I have no reason to be sorry. You fucked up, not me. And like I said, I'm not saying that religious people are, like, all religious people in the world are stupid. I mean, your ideology is dumb. Your belief structure is dumb. But you yourself are not dumb. There's a lot of intelligent people out there that just believe in really stupid things. I mean, there was a kid I knew growing up. His family were from Georgia. So his mother and father were very, very racist. So he grew up around it. Granted, now he's married to a black chick. Haha, fuck you, parents. Anyway, growing up, he was a bit of a racist because that's all he knew. You know, he grew up basically in the KKK and the skinheads and all that. Most of his family, that's all they are. So, I mean, like I said, he grew up around that. It's a culture thing. Just like Black Panthers, which was basically the black version of the KKK. You know, they hated white people. Why? I have no reason. I just hate them. Why? Because I hate them. It's the same exact argument as I've asked somebody who said they were part of the Black Panthers, who said that they were raised in the Black Panther thing. I asked him, why do you hate me so much? I've never offended you. I never once tried to take money from you. I didn't try to rob you. I didn't do anything to you. Why do you hate me? And everybody's like, oh, you're doing a sappy story. No, it was a question to get an answer to why I was so confused, why this guy hated me so much. And everybody I've asked who's hated me is mainly because of my skin color. Oh, you were, what is it, white privilege. I didn't have any privilege, bitch. I grew up in a trailer. I grew up in a 1-bedroom trailer, or a 2-bedroom trailer with my mom and dad, and my sister. They had 1 bedroom, my sister and I had another. We grew up poor. You know, it's not a color thing, it's a culture thing. You know, we grew up in poverty. I mean, granted, we had food because we hunted. You know, mom and dad did have jobs. You know, get a job. I'm sorry, but one of the main things that I saw that really irritates me is when someone tries to say institutional racism or sexism. Never seen it, and I don't believe it exists. Because again, there's no evidence of any of it at all. I mean, yeah, in prison it's predominantly black. It's not predominantly black because, hey, they hate black people. It's predominantly black because, well, they got caught doing something stupid. And they just happen to be a black person. Has nothing to do with skin color. And I know someone right now who, if they watch this video, would be really pissed off at me about this. But facts don't care about your feelings. I mean, seriously. If you're going to sit there and blindly believe whatever someone's going to tell you on the news, for one, you're a moron. And two, if you don't do your own research about this stuff, you have no reason to talk about it. It's like when Milo Yiannopoulos was doing an interview, and there was a feminist sitting there. And she was saying, and I quote this, she said that a man has no right to say anything about a woman because a man is not a woman. And then she said that they should teach boys to be less violent, basically implying that all men are violent. When Milo stepped up and said this, you know, quoted it to her, she completely denied it. When not even 10 minutes before, it's exactly what the fuck she said. That all men are violent. No, we're not. You know, I've never hit a woman. I've wanted to, but I never have. And it's like what Bill Barr said, who is a comedian. You know, anybody who says there's no reason to hit a woman, I can name about 10 right now. I'm not going to do it, but I can name 10 reasons why you don't want to hit a woman. I'll even give the example he did. Your woman's a stay-at-home woman. You go to work every day to pay for the house, pay for everything that's in that house. You come home and she's banging the neighbor. Just wait, there's more. You get kicked out of the house. You're still paying for the house that she's fucking your neighbor in. No reason to hit the bitch? And I had another question. It was about the transgender thing. If you're at a bar and a man who swears up and down that he identifies as a woman comes at you, tries to fight you, and you knock the motherfucker out, will you go to prison for hitting a woman because this idiot thinks he's a woman? I can give you the answer. No. It's got a dick, it's a dude. Another question. This is more of a joke for most of you snowflakes that are going to get pissed off about this. If you're at a bar, and I said this joke to my wife and her coworkers, which my wife probably didn't like it. I mean, she gave me the whole shut the fuck up look. Everybody else thought it was funny. And they actually were thinking about it. If you're at a bar, and there's a woman there that dresses like a man, acts like a man, talks like a man, looks like a man, comes at you and swings at you, and then out of self-defense, you turn around and knock that motherfucker out, you honestly thought it was a dude, later on you find out it's a woman, do you go to prison for it? And if so, why? If, the way my mom raised me, if they're going to put their self in the position of a man, fuck you feminists, there is a difference. Or sorry, transgenders, there are a difference. If you're going to put yourself in the position of a man where you're going to start swinging at me with a balled fist trying to hurt me, and I deck your ass and drop you, I should not get in trouble for that. It's called self-defense. Yes. Granted, I've been attacked by women. I mean, obviously, you guys have heard my mouth. I can be a dick, but I'm only a dick because I tell the truth and people don't like it. Okay, that's not entirely true. I can just be an asshole if I want to be. But anyway, if the woman is sitting there swinging on you, and I mean just swinging away on you, and you don't hit her, but you put her on her ass, people go apeshit about that. Like there was one, it was actually a YouTube video that went viral. It was this war vet dude, he's like 65 or something like that, he was on a bus. The woman got on there, was being a fucking bitch to him. I mean just straight, just trashing the guy. And he did everything, you could tell he was getting pissed. He did everything he could to back down. She swung on him, so he knocked the bitch out. Cold clocked her cold. Yes, the video got 1 billion views on YouTube, along with his response to what happened. And they videotaped the whole thing. She instigated it. She swung on him first. Out of reaction, he hit her. Knocked her out cold. And he said the same thing I just said. If you put yourself in the feet of a man, I'm going to drop you like a man. He got in trouble for it, even though she attacked him first. Even in hockey, they have this thing called instigating. You know, if you're instigating a fight, you're just as guilty as the one who's about to knock you the fuck out. You know, I don't see why, if men and women are indeed the exact same, we're equal in every plane. This is why I don't agree with the feminist movement, because they still agree with don't hit a woman, but they want everything else. It's like, no, if you want to be treated just like a man, if a man drops your ass because you're being a fucking punk-ass bitch, and you start swinging on him, don't call the cops. I mean, if you are indeed as equal as a man, then he should not have to go to jail for hitting a woman, because you're indeed the exact same. But the feminists will not answer that. They will instantly say, well, I'm a female. Okay, in your eyes, it's the same thing. In your eyes, a dick and a vagina are basically the same. A male and female are the same thing. So, in that respect, you should go to jail for like a night for fighting. But your eyes should go to jail too for instigating. No, there's a woman here in town, like I said, I don't name names. When she gets drunk, she gets violent. And she will fight anybody. I know it sounds mean. I'm waiting for her to start a fight with the wrong dude that's just had a shitty day. She starts swinging on him, and he just turns around and cold clucks the shit out of her. Granted, I will stand up for her, because it's the way I was raised. Chivalry is not dead. It's just hiding. You know, great example. I told the woman not to say anything, but fuck it, I'll say it anyway. The other day, we went to a restaurant here in town. I don't know if I've said this story yet or not, but I'm going to say it again anyway, because I don't fucking remember. I've made like 50 videos, I just don't put them all on here. Anyway, there's steps that go down to the certain area to go eat, and instinctively I put my hand out to help my wife down the stairs. She doesn't need help, but I did it anyway out of respect. The woman looked like she was about to cry when she saw this. She said, I thought chivalry was dead. No, it's not. If you were raised right, you were raised properly to respect your mama instead of being a fuck you mom kind of guy, like most of the kids these days, you have respect for women. Because like I said, women are the reason why we're here. It's like I said in one of my other videos, any man can father a child. You can stick your dick in, blow your load, and leave. It takes a real man to be a dad. My mom and my dad raised me to respect women. But only if they respect me too. Which is one thing they never tell you. You get respect when you earn it. You don't just inherently get respect. I'm not going to inherently give anybody respect. You know, and I will look at everybody as my equal. I don't care if you're a preacher. I don't care. Like I said, I'm not in the military, so even if you are a general in the military, you're still my equal. We just have two completely different jobs. In case you're wondering what I'm vaping, it's the stuff that's called Red Dragon. This stuff is delicious. It's got like a strawberry taste to it. It's fucking amazing. You know, if I didn't have to worry about burning these coils up so much, I'd be smoking this more than I smoke my cigars. But anyway. So I've had this cough for the last couple of days. Anyway. When it comes to the flat earth stuff, again, evidence. You know, the ball is in your court. It is your choice to make the shot. But in order to make the shot, instead of shooting it to make a hoop, you need to give evidence to prove your theory. Same with religion. But again, I'm not going to let anything bother me tonight because what that guy did just literally put an exclamation on the point saying that I won. And if he sees this, dude, go ahead and comment. I know you will. You seem to be an antagonist, or what most people call online a troll. You know, I don't even think you believe half the crap you're saying. You're just throwing shit out there to try to get a rise out of me. It doesn't work, man. You know, like I said, I've been picked on all my life. By friends, family, girlfriends, fiancés. You know, I've been through the ringer, man. I've been around the block. Your little puny words are not going to offend me at all. Calling me, you know, quoting satanic crap on me, saying you feel sorry for... Don't feel sorry for me. There's nothing to feel sorry for me for. I have a job. I have a house. You know, I can live. You know, I live decently. Granted, I wish I got paid more, but, you know, you get what you pay for. You get what you do. But, you know, there's no reason to feel sorry for me. Just because I don't believe what you believe doesn't mean you gotta feel sorry for me. I'm happy where I'm at. You know, I may not be happy with my physical appearance. You know, everybody has insecurities. But with financially, where I live, my amazingly beautiful wife, inside and out, I live comfortably, man. No need to feel sorry for me. Look at yourself in the mirror. Take a look at everything you've done in the mirror. Everything you've done in the past. Look at yourself deeply. Maybe you should feel sorry for yourself. And I'm not saying be all depressed. I'm saying instead of getting online, trying to instigate fights and violence, why not instead try to fix yourself? Because in the end of the day, you got to be happy with yourself. You know, you got to be happy in order to be happy with anybody else. You got to love yourself in order to be able to give love to other people. You know, it took me a long time to realize that. But I found someone I can love. Someone that helps me. Not just financially, but emotionally, you know, spiritually, if there is spirituality, you know, just quoting things from the Bible, if you will. This woman does help me. She may irritate the hell out of me, but I absolutely love this woman. And granted, if you would have asked me 6 years ago, I probably would have just laughed in your face if you had told me I was ever going to get married to her. Because I was in the complete belief that I would never get married. Because every time I've seen people get married, divorce happened. I don't see myself divorcing this chick. No matter how much she irritates me, at the end of the day, we always make up. I can always wrap my arms around her, give her kisses. She can do the same thing to me. Granted, she's like 5'2" and I'm 6 foot tall. Just quite a fun dynamic, but I love the girl. You know. Anyway, sorry for the sappy ass thing. Like, comment, do whatever you want. See you guys later.